Hello, this is Intuitive Living with Jennifer Jean, and I'm Jennifer Jean. And I'm glad to be back. I'm going to try to post videos a little more consistently. My guides have been urging me to record more videos, and they want me to do a channeled message every week. So that is what I'm doing here. So, what I do is I receive the message, I record myself, and then I write it down. So I'm going to share with you the message for the week of November 3rd. So this week's message is about progress. And I know that sometimes it's hard to see progress in the world or in our own lives, but I feel like this message gives us hope and inspiration for the week ahead. So here we go. So it's easy to stay put when things are going well, but it's harder when the going gets tough. This is the urge that spurs us into action. Sometimes you have to push through the darkness to find what's on the other side. Sometimes it's good and sometimes it's not as good, but you'll always see the light. When you get to the light, go to the door. The door will either open easily or it will stay shut. If it stays shut, you know it wasn't time. Also, look to see if there's any other way around the door. It may just be a facade, or maybe you're looking for something entirely different. In either case, just do the action and the reward will be waiting for you when it's time. So that is the message. And what I'm going to also do is put in a tarot card from the Voyager deck each week to go along with it and to add depth. So for this week, the card is the Harmony card. I love this deck because it's like a series of collages. And it shows all these instruments and things kind of humming along. And it's the Eight of Wands in the traditional Rider deck. So I think what this card has to say is that it's a process. It's a never ending process for things to come together. But when you get to that point where there's some flow or you feel like you're in the zone, that's when you have harmony, when all the parts come together to make the whole. So in my own life, I feel that it's always for me the urge to get things done. I get very restless. I feel like I have to get something done every day, or I don't feel like I'm doing enough. I guess you probably all feel that way. But how it shows up in my life is right now I'm taking an astrocartography class, and I'm going to be offering that later. And I haven't studied a lot of astrology. I don't call myself an astrologer for a reason. But in order to study astrocartography, which is the astrology of maps and places, I have to learn a whole new skill set. And I feel like I'm just picking away at it every day. And I think for me, just making progress and understanding a few more concepts is very important part of my journey. Also, in recovering from the two hurricanes that hit us last year, two major hurricanes back to back. And we have a lot done, but it's not completely done. Our community is still recovering even a year later. And just think of those people in Jamaica right now where they've just at the very beginning of that. They're very overwhelmed. There's not enough resources, and you just have to go one baby step at a time in order to get there. So I think it's really important to count our blessings, to know that we're doing the best we can, and just to try to get a little bit done every day, and not to let it overwhelm. What I've heard, especially in Jamaica, is that most people have a good attitude and are willing to go to work and just to do the work because that's what it's going to take to recover. um, I also like to think of the analogy of like being a homeowner too. So I always seem to relate things back to the home for some reason. But you may move into a home and it's exactly the way you want, or you feel like you need to renovate something and you have it the way you want. It's beautiful. And then a few years later, you're like, oh, I'm not so happy with that. I want to redo a room, or put up, like, make a new kitchen or new bathrooms or that kind of thing. And so it's always a work in progress. And I think that's exactly what our lives are. And it's just good to know that we are on the journey, no matter what we're doing, whatever we're working on. It's part of our journey, and we know that we're always a work in progress. Anyway, I am looking forward to posting more content on this channel. I'm also going to be updating my intuitive living, my intuitive eating, and intermittent fasting. I'm going to be starting with an intermittent fasting coach on Thursday. I'm so excited about that. So I will share my journey for the next month on that. So, anyway, thank you so much for listening to my video today, and I wish you a very good rest of your day. Take care.